Hi guys, Glader here, and today I have another update video on the Phantasy Star Online Blue Burst emulated client project. Yesterday I posted a video about the Discord server I've created for this project. Link's going to be in the description, comment, and probably on the screen right now as well. And if you haven't joined yet, you should probably hop in. It's pretty popular already, which is pretty cool. Today's going to be a bit of a technical video though. I'm going to discuss what I've been doing the past few days since posting that video and announcing that the project has been brought out of dormancy. But it is a technical video, so if you aren't interested in that, then this might not be the video for you. Just hop in the Discord and you'll know when there's a non-technical video coming up. So I need to talk about a few things. I'm going to try to do them first, and then I'm going to show you that they actually work now by showing you the login screen, working and stuff. So give you a little backstory. Message or packet handlers existed in the scene. They were scene objects, and anytime you created one, you had to go add it to the relevant scenes for it to be collected and for it to handle the actual payloads and packets. If you know anything about Unity, that meant they had to be components or mono behaviors. And for various reasons that I won't get into, I've moved away from that design, and let me pull up a handler right now just to show you guys. Handlers, if I go through all the base types, they now no longer implement mono behavior or inherit from mono behavior, which means they can exist outside the scene, which is great. The difficulty in transferring away from that is indicating which scene a handler should exist in. For example, on the title screen, you wouldn't need a handler that can handle packets about boxes breaking. There's a waste of resource to instantiate that and stuff. So I created a system, attribute-based system, where you can annotate handlers and indicate the game type. For example, title screen and server selection for this particular one. This led to some challenges in dependencies originally injected as methods or property injection. It had to be done through constructor injection, and we can no longer serialize stuff to the Unity editor, which meant we can no longer rely on Unity events to decouple things. And that resulted in the requirement to introduce strongly typed event subscribable interfaces. It sounds fancier than it is, but it's just an interface with some events you can subscribe to. And then some additional metadata to indicate when handlers are being instantiated or registered. That we also register it as these types as well. A little roundabout when you go to have to implement this, or add an interface to an existing handler or object or something, but this was the design that I settled on. And so now it can handle events, decoupled events, as well as injecting dependencies as through the constructor instead of potentially serializing them to the Unity editor. So we solved that problem. Additionally, my work done on something called VR Guardians has made me realize that the best way to approach UI is to move it, at least for code for it, is to move it far away from Unity as much as possible. For various reasons that I won't get into, I will just show you that, let's see, it's down here. Okay, so you create these UI interfaces, and then you create these adapters between Unity UI and this UI, and to actually, let me show you how you consume it first. So let's pull up something that registers. Okay, so this registers a handler to the button. So we just say, hey, we got this button property, and in the constructor we add a filter, and we say we add a key, and we say we want the title login button, and then that button will be injected in here automatically. We don't have to manually supply this. We don't have to manually register this anywhere. And then, down here we can do our thing, register async event that connects. Okay, great. So let me show you. You do have to do one thing in the scene. And if I go show you the button, you do have to attach this adapter. And then these something walks through the scene at start, finds these adapters and registers them, and then they're injected into anything that needs to or requires them. Additionally, non-mono behaviors exist in the scene and are created in scenes. by something walks the assemblies, finds anything that's marked with scene type create, and if it's the particular scene, it'll create it. So that's my solution to get things running in the scene. You've got things like game initializable, game tickable, a very basic framework for engine stuff. You can call it an engine, you can call it a framework, you can call it nothing, but let me show you a bit how that works. It's pretty simple, at least the default version of it. There you go. You just have a simple mono behavior that sits in the scene, and on start, it initializes all the initializables, and on update, if initialization's finished, because it's async, initialization supports async, you tick the tickables. It's like start and update, initialization and tickable, or tick rather. So that's the new design, the new UI, being able to access UI elements from non-mono behaviors that are created in the scene, as well as non-mono behavior handlers, publishing events and stuff. And let me show you something that consumes from that. It's pretty simple. Here's one I think that consumes from it. Yeah, so on connection redirection, this thing on initialization subscribes to the connection redirection event that one of the handlers eventually publishes. And, you know, this does some simple stuff for loading the next scene or whatever. So these are the major design changes that took about 140 commits. It took 3 days of nearly non-stop work to transition to this design. But after all that work, we can now run the scene and it'll work. And okay, you can see that we logged in. And now I need to go through and do the rest of these scenes. So thanks for watching, guys. Go ahead and join the Discord. I'll see you guys in there hopefully. And thanks for watching.